You're listening to Food for Thought with Billy and Jenny, brought to you by the Box Center. For more than 15 years, this dining duo has been eating their way through New England, mixing it up with top chefs, jumping behind the line of the hottest restaurants, and giving you the inside scoop on where to wine, dine, and spend your time. So get ready. It's Food for Thought, giving you something to chew on.
Well, hey guys, welcome into Food for Thought. Billy Costa here, and it's a big weekend around this building, around iHeart. The Jingle Ball is this weekend, so big doings in and around iHeart in Boston this weekend. And we get closer and closer to the holidays. We're past Thanksgiving. We're approaching Christmas, and I think we've got ourselves a big show. First of all, I welcome back my buddy, Mike Rockett. He'll be co-hosting this week. Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you also.
So Mike Rockett is co-hosting. Now, my old friend Gary Marino is in the studio. Now, Gary, when I first met you, you were in radio. You worked for this company, right?
Billy, a Medford boy returns. Yes. Yeah, I did. I started 87 as an intern. Went on to work on the morning show and then the nighttime shows until about 91.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was a puppy.
And did you become like a function DJ too? Didn't you do a lot of private events too, if I recall? No?
Not a lot of that, but I'm in the event business now. The
yes,
live
you
event
are.
business. Yes, absolutely.
And you're connected to Frank Martino, who's over at the other microphone. Good morning, Frank. Or
hello, good morning. Happy birthday.
Now, Frank, you've got one of those names that should be in living in Vegas. And now let's welcome to the main stage.
This is Frank Martino.
Yes, your headliner, singing his hits. Frank, well, there was an Al Martino, right?
My father's name was Al. We don't have his money.
Yeah, it wasn't the Al Martino. But your dad was Al Martino?
Really was, yeah.
Well, I know you, Frank, you own and operate Topsfield Commons. Now, that's a function/wedding facility?
Yeah, it's a beautiful building. I bought it about 30 years ago. It's built in 1854. So it's Topsfield Commons, 1854, downtown Topsfield.
Wow. How did you get into that business? What did you do before that?
Engineering.
Really?
I actually bought it for a lab, and I just did a lot of design work in that building, architectural. I studied Museum of Fine Arts. I went to Rhode Island for all the mansions, and I started studying about the architectural moldings and what have you. So I brought that back. I worked with an architect, and I said, this is what I want. So there's a formula. The height of the ceiling to the width of a columns and the capitals and the moldings.
And we see all that at Topsfield Commons.
It's all in
now?
there. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
So how did you and Gary hook up?
Gary?
I was actually
Gary.
on the beach in Rockport this summer in my vacuum-packed tropical bathing suit.
Yeah.
And I was.
I'd like to see a picture of that. A Duga suit. I'd like to see him in a Duga.
I was reading North Shore magazine.
Yeah.
And it was about Frank's restaurant.
Okay.
And I said, what a cool concept. There's an actual Ferrari in the restaurant. What a beautiful job he did with this old mill building in Peabody. And I said, I'm going to drop in on the way back and talk to him about doing entertainment, which is what I do. I produce and perform live entertainment shows. Something cool that you could bring to an already cool concept. So that's how I hooked up with Frank.
Okay, so Topsfield Commons is a wedding and function facility. F355 is your restaurant in Revere.
It's actually in Peabody, downtown Peabody.
Oh, how did I get Revere?
It's actually on Pulaski Street, so it's a little bit out of the downtown area. It's 58 Pulaski Street, Peabody, and it was a tannery building. It was actually 3 buildings, and this gentleman, Ed, he purchased these buildings, and my son Frank said, Dad, I want to do a coffee roasting company here. My son is went to school for culinary and business.
Okay.
And he said, Dad, there's a beautiful building that we can do a nice build out. And I'd like to do a coffee roasting company. I said, okay, Frank, well, you can do it, but let me see the lease before you sign anything.
Yeah.
So the lease was incredible. And then a few days later, Ed was talking to my son Frank. He said, we'd like to have a food hall here. And I said, I'm in. I could start the pizza, which is Frankie Slice.
Yeah.
I also had a company already. It was called Sweet Street Gelato. And we're bread makers for my other facility, Topsfield. So we got into making pasta and breads and different things. So now we have a food hall. They call it the mini Italy or Faneuil Hall.
Oh, kind of like Italy, but smaller.
Much smaller,
You know what? More charming.
More charming.
That's the word I think you're looking for. Well, Frank, hold that thought, okay? Because we have to go to break.
Sure.
And when we come back, I want to have you break down F355 and tell me what the connection between a Ferrari and a restaurant is.
Okay.
And we'll talk about Topsfield Commons. Gary is here. He'll be chiming in, and Mike Rockett is my co-host. And we're going to take the first break of the week on Food for Thought. We'll be right back. Billy Costa here, Mike Rockett, my co-host this week. And I'm talking to Frank Martino and Gary Marino. Hey, the Martinos and the Marinos. All right, before we go, we got a couple of minutes left. I want to talk more about F355. All right, Topsfield Commons, you got it. You're doing 130 weddings a year. Yeah. You're okay. But that doesn't say people can't call and book their weddings at Topsfield Commons. Okay,
right,
or functions, any kind of, holiday parties.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not too late. So F355, again, is in Peabody.
Yes.
I kind of messed up this morning and said, I said morning again. Like I'm an idiot.
You are.
Yeah.
You call it mornings, we call it after hours.
You need that treatment that I got.
Okay, we'll get to that a little bit later in the show. But F355, what's the restaurant like and what's the menu like?
Very chic. It's all red leather seats, black lacquer paint. It's a hard concrete floor that has the epoxy swirls, but it's really cool. The actual F355 represents the model of the Ferrari that's in the restaurant.
Oh, okay.
So you have everyone taking photos and what have you.
Does the car drive?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you take it out?
I don't now because now I just have it parked there for the restaurant. We're open right now Thursday, Friday, Saturday evenings, and we will be opening up soon on Sundays.
Okay.
Well, there's about 16 TVs in there, high ceilings, absolutely gorgeous.
What's the food?
The food is, I call it Italian.
Pizza right now,
yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
It's Italian. Wow, I would never have thought that.
Italian American. So we do have steak tips. And now we use only prime beef, right? So our steak tips prime, our tenderloin is prime, filet mignon is prime, burgers all prime. And then we go into like the Bell and Evans chickens and what have you.
Oh,
the chicken
very
breast.
nice. I like Bell and Evans.
Yeah, real nice. My goal is to have clean food, healthy, clean food. The pizza that you're eating right now, Billy,
delicious.
There's no pesticides in the wheat, no GMO. There's no sugar in the dough and the sauce. Mm-hmm. It's all clean. There's Pecorino Romano, Parmigiano Reggiano, hard mozzarella, Greek olive oil.
Nice.
Greek olive oil.
Greek.
They have, it's pure. A lot of oils in Italy is 80%. It's not true.
Is your family aware that you're using Greek olive oil?
Yeah, they gave me the slap. You know the slap? They gave me the fresh one.
The fresh one?
Yeah.
It's a backhand and a front hand.
And the steak tips.
Yeah, right.
Give me the chef.
And then we have a gelato shop. In that mill building, we have other shops. Sweet Street Gelato, which we also have a gelato truck. But we make all our gelato in-house. Pasta. There was Martino's Pasta Bar. These are little shops in the names. Healthy Greens and Grill. And then Frankie's Slice. Frankie's Slice is now in Crosby's. And
I love Crosby's.
Yeah. It's Salem. They took it on. The first one is in Salem.
Beverly.
And then they're going to be spreading all across.
Yeah. I think that's in Marblehead.
There's going to be in Marblehead. There's also going to be in the other areas. But number one is Butcher Boy.
Oh, there you go.
Butcher
Danvers,
Boy,
right?
10 cases out.
Yep. And even people who don't like crust typically love Frankie's crust.
Oh, they're delicious.
And I know. I told Frankie, I said, it's a good thing I don't work here all the time. I could develop a weight issue.
I don't know if Billy can get his mouth around Frankie's crust, though. Pretty big.
I gotta tell you. Okay. On that note.
Did you say crust?
Yeah. He's got dry mouth right now.
Oh, jeez. That's more than we needed to know.
At least there's no powder around it or anything because it's fresh.
Full disclosure, whenever Mike Rockett is in co-hosting, I always open the show by saying I cannot be responsible for what's going to happen, okay? AJ gets the email, not me.
Two things, Billy, I got to mention. The steak tips at this place.
Yeah.
Steak tips of the gods. I mean, what are they, filet mignon?
They are. we actually
Steak tips. Yeah.
See, in the wedding, Topsfield Commons, we actually buy prime beef.
Who do you buy it from? Who is your purveyor?
Keneally. Yeah. And we take that big tenderloin and we cut it into steak tips.
All right, quickly.
No knife needed. Yeah.
What is the website? Where do people go if they want to book a function, a holiday party, a wedding, whatever, a divorce party? Or they need to go to F355 and find out what's going on?
Just get right on the website, F355. You'll see our entertainment page.
F355.com.
F355.com, yeah.
All right. And
we're
you have live
kicking off.
entertainment there?
Yeah.
We're kicking off a Friday night supper club.
Oh, nice.
Frank's bringing out the wheel of Parmesan cheese where you make the pasta in the wheel.
Flame it.
All right.
Flame it. And then I'm your host, a guy who looks like the love child of Jackie Gleason and Paul Savino.
He's gonna be doing the full Monty.
So, first thing I thought, Jackie Gleason, Paul Sorvino.
That's what I get.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Hey, boss.
Okay, so Frank, you were talking about Topsfield Commons, and it's a function, it's a wedding facility. Before we went on the air tonight, all you did was mention Topsfield Commons, and AJ, my producer, said, "Oh my, who's AJ? Come on over to the microphone. Somebody you know is getting married there?"
My brother.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's getting married in February 18th.
Oh, fantastic. We'll do a great job. We always do.
Yeah.
How many people can you?
200.
So full liquor license.
Everything's
everything?
full, yeah. Full
There's
service.
not a lot of liquor licenses in Topsfield, is there?
There's only a few.
Yeah.
We were the first to get our license in Topsfield. So when all our food is cooked in house, all the appetizers done by hand.
All right, Frank, you don't have to sell her. They already bought the place. Yeah, they're already in, Frank.
I can't turn it off.
It's full solid.
I just can't turn it off.
They're at $100 a plate. He wants to go to $150.
I was trying to bump you up a little bit.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here thinking, well, what kind of a discount can I get AJ?
I'll give you a good deal.
Yeah, deal you can't
Listen to me,
refuse.
I'll
I'll
give
bring
you
in
a
the
good
pizzas
deal.
at the end of the night.
Let your brother know he'll be in touch.
Or not. Yeah, Frank will make sure he's not even there that day. What's the date again, AJ?
February 18th.
February 18th. And,
wow.
What's your brother's name?
Michael Janino.
Michael
Janino and Shelby Carney.
Now it's the Martinos,
The Janinos.
the Janinos, and the Marinos.
We're gonna offer him some free gelato. How do you like that?
There we go. Gelato for everybody.
Have you actually been getting more weddings on Fridays that you? It's amazing.
It is. It's
People
amazing.
are getting married on Thursdays, Fridays, Sundays.
They are. Yeah. It's just whatever the best deal. Also, because everyone's working, right? Everyone's working. Sometimes two jobs,
and they're not
have you.
doing their honeymoons right afterwards.
They're not. No, they're
Really?
No, they're not. They're waiting. They're saving money, and for a house, or they're saying, "Listen, we're going to go in the summertime because one could be a teacher, and they're not going to take a week off. We want to go to Greece."
Oh, that's right, because you do weddings at the Salem Waterfront Hotel. How many weddings a year do you do?
We did like 55 last year.
Wow. How many you do, Frank?
130.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we do one a day.
Wow.
We will not do more than one a day. We've actually had opportunities.
Same here.
Yeah.
Keep it one a day.
Yeah.
The detail that you can accomplish is
a lot of venues they'll do 3 and 4
it's
a
factory.
day.
That's not good.
And what Frank's not telling you is of the 130 weddings he does a year, half of those are second and third marriages. Got married the first time in the place. And the second time.
No
Did you
way.
get a better deal? 20% off, 30% off. If you do it again, it's 50% off.
It's a good business.
You actually, Frank, give them a flyer on their way out and say, by the way, if this doesn't work out.
If it's not done twice, it's not done right. Come here. But I'm bumped.
You should have a
It's a
marquee
good
out
business.
front.
The wedding business is a good business, isn't
You
it?
know what?
Yeah.
A lot of
Reoccurring
things.
income. On the way out, here's a divorce lawyer's number.
And the bereavement. Don't forget.
Yeah, you should have a lawyer's office right at the facility, ready to go.
Actually, the post divorce party would be even better.
Oh yeah.
Most guys would spend way more money.
I've done those. I've done divorce parties that were through the roof. Some of the
That you
best
get them
times.
coming and going.
Yeah. Love it. I did one where the entire wedding party came, and it was a roast.
Yeah. It's awesome, isn't it?
Okay, we got to be clear.
Well, the best part of getting divorced.
Topsfield Commons is an elegant place. Okay, we're kidding. Wow. But, on a serious note, weddings and everything about and around weddings has changed or have changed a lot because I know some younger people that have got married, and now, you know how they do the wedding registry?
Yeah.
It's not just for dishes and plates and glasses and stuff.
For cash.
Yes, or
Venmo
they'll
me
say,
cash.
can you Venmo the money for my hotel room in Greece? It's like gotten out of control.
It's crazy.
It's amazing. And now we're not seeing the mums and the dads coming to look at the venue.
Yeah.
It's just the couples.
Right.
And they're streamlining as streamlined can be.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, we want
Which
to go
isn't
to Greece.
necessarily a bad thing, you know?
No, it's not.
You know,
I'm all for it. My children, when I bought this particular house, it was like a 9-bedroom, and I had my actually children stay with me while they to sell your property. You know, what they were. The small condos and what have you, or apartments, sell or move out, move in with us, save for 4 years, and then start for putting big down payments on their house. And
Gates around the house or the compound.
Yeah,
doesn't sound familiar, does it? The whole family living in a compound.
Oh yeah.
Good reality show. Good reality
Machine
show.
guns.
Who's feeding the chickens and the goats?
All right. Before we go, we got a couple of minutes left. I want to talk more about F355. All right. Topsfield Commons, you got it. You're doing 130 weddings a year.
Yeah.
You're okay. But that doesn't say people can't call and book their weddings at Topsfield Commons. Okay, or functions, any kind of, holiday parties.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not too late. So F355, again, is in Peabody.
Yes.
Okay, because we have to go to break.
Sure.
And Mike Rockett is my co-host on Food for Thought. We'll be right back. Boy, Frank and Gary were funny, huh?
Yeah, it's great, guys. A lot of fun.
F355 in Peabody. You got to check it out. It sounds awesome. By the way, themed as a Ferrari with a real Ferrari in the middle of it.
I'm a little concerned about the car. The rubber's going to dry out on it if they don't start it.
Okay. I'm sure occasionally they'll figure something out. I'm thinking with that kind of an environment, it's good for the whole family. You bring the kids. They love seeing the Ferrari and the atmosphere. Anyway.